Was it still a full time territory at the time?
Yeah. I mean, I was still working almost every night. I was working in Memphis, and then I'd work for Burt, and just whatever days I was off on one place, I'd work another one, and then I was working for Danny still, and so it wasn't bad.
What are your thoughts on Jerry Lawler?
What's what happened to him?
No, what are your thoughts on
Oh,
Jerry Lawler?
well, I love Lawler, and then it's funny like going on. I get to go on road trips with him. He'd ride with us to places, and just hearing the stories, it's like it's great. Yeah, I got nothing to say about the King.
How was he to work with? I never worked with Jerry Lawler.
Easy to work with,
Yeah.
and it's a night off. And said I got no complaints about him. Well, I mean, I wish I could
Well,
have made more money in Memphis, but you only do what you can do.
could you make a living in Memphis? Could you pay your bills?
I was. I mean, the
Yeah.
shows I was doing. I mean, and I also got to think back in the day, gas was a lot cheaper, so
Everything
it
was a
was
lot
easier
cheaper.
as
Yeah.
and traveling people. I mean, gas was
Sure.
98 cents a gallon or whatever. Okay, it's a little way better than it is now.
Right. Right. Flesh, I think I pretty much can say I've gotten along with everybody I've ever met in the wrestling business except one guy from Memphis. Can you take a guess who I'm about to say?
In Memphis, I'm gonna say Brian Christopher.
Ding! I could not get the guy to even be cordial to me. And hey, listen, I know the guy passed away, but you can't rewrite history. He was a dick to me. What were your and I mean I've worked with him plenty of times, I talked to him plenty of times, and everyone says, "Oh, if you got to know the real Brian, you'd love him." Maybe so. What was your interaction with Brian Christopher?
I got along with him better after Memphis closed, and then everything was cool. But I mean, you got to think. I mean, here he is, second generation wrestler, and he's following his dad's legacy, just like David Flair. And here you are, you're
Right,
following your dad's legacy. Those are
right,
big shoes to fill.
sure.
So there's a lot of pressure on all these guys that are second, third generation and stuff. So I just look at it like that. Like I, I'm not holding any grudges.
Right.
It is what it
And
is.
people don't understand if you're like from Jersey, most people think, oh, that's just Southern wrestling. No, Memphis was huge. They were drawing Jerry Lawler every week. Like what we can't draw right now at the Garden, showing every 3 4 months. They were out drawing that every single week per building, every Monday. It was crazy, crazy.
Well, you had that, and you had Memphis on Monday, then you had Louisville on Tuesday. Wednesday was Evansville. Thursday you'd be a spot show somewhere. Friday you'd be another spot show, but or we were doing the casino. And Saturday morning you had TV. Saturday night you had Nashville. Sunday I was usually off and I did Danny's show. But whenever I was doing all that stuff, to see, because I was doing Burt Prince's shows because Burt and them were working together. So Tuesday it was Burt's thing or it was Memphis, whatever you want to look at it. But it was Burt's guys and Memphis guys. So see, yeah, I mean, Burt kept me busy. My first encounter with Burt was about a year into the business, and they called me to the office. They called me up and had me come to this office meeting, and him and Jeff Cohen, the photographer, they were starting up. Oh man, what was it? I can't remember the name
Power
of it.
Pro, Power
No, it was
Pro.
in the Indianapolis area. It was Circle City Wrestling. We came up with that, and oh man, CWA, CWI. I can't remember what he called. I can't remember what it is. Jeez, I'm
Right.
feeling bad now. I have to ever think of the name of it. Shoot, it'll pop up in my head probably when I get off here. But they were running that, and then Jeff got out of it. We had our sponsor, and he was a big Hulk Hogan fan, and on Thunder in Paradise. They were doing a wedding bit. There was a guy there with black hair. He looks like Freddie Fender, and his name was I'm really bad with names. If I wasn't on here, I had a couple of these names. Junior Carr, Superstar Junior Carr. He was always telling us how him and Hulk Hogan were good buddies and everything. Uh, it was so funny when Smoky Mountain closed up. He called me up and acted like he was Hulk Hogan, and like, brother, keep your head up. Things will get better. And I'm thinking, Junior. And I was telling my dad, he's laughing, and I was like, all right, Hulkster. But he put the money into it, and then the guy running the show, he ended up Junior done something to make him mad. So when we had our big show, they brought Sabu and stuff in, and my uncle built the pyro bombs to go come out through the curtain. You had the explosions and all that. So it was a pretty good show. I mean, it's cool for an indie show. We're all seeing all this stuff, but he wanted to punish him and had him sit behind the timekeeper's table. And the guy doing the TV, we were on his show, Bill Shirk. He did escape stuff and all that, but he has a TV station in the Indianapolis area, and he showed everything. He had Memphis Wrestling, ECW, WWE. He had all the stuff on the Smoky Mountain, and we were on there. But he wanted to punish Junior. He was mad at him for something Junior had done. So he's like, I want to think if it went for this guy, none of this would be possible. So he goes, I want to call out Bill Shirk, and had Bill come out all the stuff for him, and Junior just sat there. All the money he put into it, if he would have just gave him a little right there, Junior had been so excited and happy, and he wanted to punish him, and like, nope. And that was it. Junior didn't want to put any more money into it. That was pretty much when that was over with. Our big show where we turned people away and and ended up being our pretty much our worst show.
Speaking of Memphis, did you get a chance to work with Bill Dundee?
Yeah, I worked with Bill a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that like?
And, uh, yeah, it was easy,
Yeah.
but it's just always funny. Bill comes in, he walks in the locker room. As soon as he walks in, he's looking around. And what is business is the way it is. And like he did that every night. He'd come in there and look around. Oh, but I like Bill. He's going through some hard times right now. His health, but
Oh, really? I've had both Wolfie and Jamie on. I've worked with both Wolf and Jamie. I like those guys. Great workers. What was your experience with them?
love working with them.
Yeah,
And looking back on it, man, one of the most underrated tag teams.
yeah, for sure.
And Jamie is a heat magnet. It was like Wolfie was the worker of the two, but Jamie was the one that would get you heat. And you just want to kill him at times. But it's like I like those guys.
You teamed up with Steve Dahl, correct?
Yeah,
I love Steve Dahl. I missed, it sucks that he's not here anymore. What can you tell me?
yeah.
I'll tell you a quick funny story. Blaine DeSantis from PCW, before we brought you in, would bring Steve Dahl in.
That's how I got
So it was
hooked up.
okay, awesome. So one show, I was like, 22 years old. I was there. I'm like, it was intermission. I'm like, what do you want to do? He goes, you got any beer? And I never really traveled with alcohol, but legit, like I went to a friend's house the weekend before, and I had like I don't know, like 8 beers in my trunk. I go, I got them, but they're warm. He goes, I don't care. So we go into a van, we start drinking beers, we start hanging out, we start shooting the shit, and all of a sudden I said to him, I said, I'm done for the night. Do you have anything else? And he goes, I gotta do something with a battle royal. And right there, the second he got the words out, you heard the ring announcer go, "It is now time for the battle royal." He's like, "Oh shit!" You're talk to you about Steve Dahl.
Steve was great. He easy to work with. I first met Steve. I did a show for I think it was for Freddie Morton, and then that's where I met George Weingroff and a bunch of guys. And I worked Steve that night, and we got along. And then later on, we got to Memphis. They put us together as a tag team, and I knew my role. I'm the kid. I sell, make the hot tag, and so
That's all you need.
yeah. A
That's
lot of
it.
guys don't get that. No,
Very true.
there's a spot on the show.
Very, very true.
Here's my gimmick. I'll go out there. I'll sell and save Steve's body. Now it's the other way around. I go to the show and
Yep.
I'm having tag matches. You sell hot tag, and
Absolutely.